Hi, it's the 18th today, and I'm heading out to the orchard to do the irrigations. Now, you may wonder, aren't you guys always wet up there? Well, we have a lot of springs, but if I don't have a spring, the ground dries fast. Very thin topsoil on top of hard pan clay. So, I'm gonna get on the tractor, and since it's the first time that I've run the irrigation system this year, I've got to go check all the valves, check all the ends of the tubes, and do that before I actually start moving water. I'm going to take the tractor down there. I haven't got Murphy set up to go out yet. It's still being used as a tool shed inside the barn. But my trusty friend Rex, the BX, will take me out. So let's go. Okay, I'm out in the orchard now, and I just want to show you a few things. I'm in the first planting section, the far section, and there's three things that I have to do out here. Down there below me, I hope you can see it, is the main valve for this section. It has its own valve right here, and that is to shut off this section. This row has buried PVC pipe instead of ABS, and the PVC is fragile and tends to break if we get frost heaves. That would keep me from watering anything if I lost this section. If you look down here, you'll see the black pipe over here. There's the black pipe. That's the ABS coming up to the PVC. I'm not going to change it until it's completely broken. I've mended a few spots. I'm not going to do the rest. But anyway, I got a valve here. Got a bowel valve. I'm going to leave it closed for now. So that's the first thing, and that's this section's shut off. The next thing to look at right here is every row has its own little valve, and they're closed. And I'll be checking each row to make sure that the valves are closed so that if one starts spewing all over the place, I don't lose pressure to it. So that's the first thing I do. Second thing I do. The third thing I do, and as I walk around, I'm looking at the status of the buds and the blossoms, seeing if I got fruit set. Are the fruit curling up, curling down, whatever. Okay. At the end of each row, let's try that. Yeah, here we go. I'm using orchard tubing. This is Toro orchard tubing, and I have figure eights, these little clamps that are on the bottom. You can see that. I have to make sure they get closed. Sometimes during a windstorm or something, they'll get buffeted around and they'll pop off. That just lets water fly all over the place. So after a long winter, walk around, make sure they're closed. During the drain down, they're opened, compressed air is pushed through, get all the water out of the system, and then I close them again because that little pinch point up there keeps bugs and critters from moving into the tubing and setting up shop. We don't need that. So, three things. Make sure section valves are shut. Make sure that row valves are shut. Third thing, make sure that the end tubes are all closed. Get right back to you. Okay, while I'm walking around, I'm checking out trees, seeing what's going on. This is Harrison, still blossoming. It's one of the problem children for me anyway. It's late, which I can't be spraying certain things while I've got blossom. And we look up to see if any of the kids have set. Hard to say. Okay, it's blurry, sorry. But here's the sad part. That's also was Harrison. It's a dead tree. You can see we've even got a secondary lives off a dead tree fungal. And as I go down, I'm just kind of curious to see what killed the tree. I'm going to blame Phytophthora. I don't see teeth marks. This area here is kind of damp. It's one of the reasons that I'm using Alliat. Yeah, I don't see teeth marks. I just see a dead tree. So I'll come back later and cut this out. But you can see it's a couple leaves and then it croaked. And that's sad. And it's a piece of conduit. So there you have it. This area is damper. It's taking, I think, underground a lot of moisture from a creek that runs up the hill. So I don't usually have drought-related problems with this area, but I have damp ground-related problems with this area. I don't know if you can hear me, but you can certainly hear the generator in the background. I've just cracked the valve open and I can feel water flowing through it. So what that means is it's pressurizing the main manifold. Now that main manifold is currently underground all around here. Keep it up, and down here we have ABS risers that go up to each of the rows. I'll open that valve all the way now. Leakage from my filters and I'm going to open one row here just to show you something. It's empty now, it's dry, but as I open the valve, the weight of the water dripping, maybe, and the weight of the water will make the pipeline dip. You may have also heard air being pushed out of the line, whistling. It's a thing. So that's it. I'm going to close this valve now, and I'm going to walk down to the other section and make sure I don't have any manifold leaks after that main valve. Okay, I'm opening this manifold. Ooh, yeah, a little bit of a kick there. That's fine. The problem with the kick is there's a water hammer, and that water hammer can be part of what breaks a pipe underground. And now I'm listening. The times I've had breaks here, you could hear the water coming out underground through the break. Apparently in some countries they have specialists who listen for broken water pipes, and now they have, of course, special equipment, but I don't hear any breaks. That's great. Now this is the last riser in the whole place, and I'm going to open it. Lots of air, and now water. And I want to get as much of the air out as I can from the main manifold. Okay, all done. Did the watering. Got pressure back in the tank. One thing I didn't mention is that when I initially opened the manifold valve, the good thing is that when I charged the main manifold, which is the big deal, it didn't go down much at all. It just pressurized up to the pressure, and it held pressure, 50 psi. I have a 30 to 50 psi regulator on this thing, pressure switch. So that means everything survived the winter. Cheer. So that's all for now. Happy day, and I'm wishing all of you a good season. Mom, I'll come back, cut out the dead, bring in the dead, and I'll deal with the rest of it. We'll look for you later. Bye-bye.